Okay, so welcome to stands 5, 6 and 7. This is Open Media. I'm here with Bruce Hawker, who is the founder and CEO of Open Media, which incorporates a number of different publications, including probably the oldest we know is the Portugal Resident, that many of us have known for many, many years.
Resident was founded in 1989, originally by a Canadian here in the Algarve. Was then taken over by the Rawcliffe family, by Sheena Rawcliffe, shortly after. I think the Canadian probably had it for 5 or 6 years, and then it was taken over by the Rawcliffes. They ran it for a couple of decades, really, and we took it over from them in 2012.
And I must say that we all loved The Resident. It was the one paper we could go to. Anybody that was here that was struggling with their Portuguese, that's where we found out where the news was coming from. And I must say, since that 2012, you've changed things dramatically.
Yeah, I mean, I think that The Resident used to be the Algarve Resident, and it used to be very much a community paper. It still is. We still focus strongly on community news, but we made it the Portugal Resident because that made far more sense online, and the website. And we actually changed our content to be national rather than regional. So our cover stories will normally be can be something that's going on politically in Lisbon. It could be something going on in healthcare, but they're national issues, which are normally our cover stories, unless there's something very important happening in the Algarve. But yeah, I mean, we do have more Algarve content inside, but we have a lot of mainstream national content that people can't get elsewhere. And I say they can't get elsewhere because we basically give the bad news as well as the good news. So yeah, if something really bad's going down in Portugal, we will talk about it, and no punches are pulled.
But what else are you up to, Bruce? Because I've seen you online, and you've been leaving the country. What's going on with that?
Spend a great deal of time on aeroplanes these days, because our main business now is events. We actually launched the project in 2019, initially with some EU funding, which was an internationalisation project for the company, and through the Portugal 2020 scheme. And we then had these plans to run events in Portugal as well as internationally around the world, promoting residency investment in Portugal. And we obviously everything was all ready to go, and COVID hit, so the whole thing was put on the back burner. We started in 2023 with our first Living in the Algarve event, which took place in Praia de Carvoeiro, where I live, and we've now rolled them out across the Algarve, also in Lisbon and Cascais a couple of years ago. But really, the guts of it, really, what we're doing now is the USA. We've also done South Africa. We've also done 2 years running. We were in Brazil this year as well. But in the USA alone, we've held over 20 events in the last 3 years. And each one of these events attracts between 150 to 200 people. And they're very, very successful, and they've made a huge difference to our business, basically having this events arm to the company.
And as we know, the highest number of buyers here, the people who've been relocating here, have been Americans and Canadians for the last 6-7 years. Really, since 2019, what you were talking about?
I wouldn't say the highest. The highest are still the Brits by a long way.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on that one, but okay. We speak the same language.
Actually, talking about the Algarve, specifically, the Brits are still by far the biggest market, but the Americans, the US is now the second largest market, and the Canadians would probably come just behind the Irish, which is still a very large market. But that's data that we've got specifically from estate agents here in the Algarve.
And of course, the common denominator there is that everybody's using English as the language of communication. So that's where Connect TV Algarve is coming in, and the English programming there with the residents. We have Kiss FM as well that has the one program. We're all needed. Yeah. We're all really needed. So if you'd like to come down to Blip, as I said, we are stand 5, 6 and 7, where you're going to find Bruce or colleagues, and come and have a look at all the different publications that they do and learn more about what's necessary when you're moving here to the Algarve, and how they can help. Yep. That's it. Thank you. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Esteja no Brasil, Portugal, Estados Unidos ou qualquer outro lugar do mundo, não esqueça de ficar ligado em nossas redes sociais.